anyway, we're continuing on. And as I had mentioned last week, our lineup tonight, we have all males in our lineup, and they're all new to the show. Every person who's on the show tonight is a first time guest. So Russell Andrews is no different. He is an I don't know if he writes other than children's books. He'll let us know that. But he's a finalist for the Black Authors Matter Children's Book Awards that we do. And he has an interesting book called Shoes. And it's for age 13 plus, I think. So anyway, Russell, welcome to Black Authors Matter TV.
Thank you. I'm honored and nervous at the same time.
Oh no, no
You
need
look
to be
happy to be
nervous.
here, though. I love the
Yeah,
smile.
you got a big old
Um,
smile.
I'm happy to be anywhere. Yeah.
So,
So
show us your book cover. You have your book handy.
Well, there, hold it up a little bit higher.
Yeah, a little bit higher. Okay, so we can see the bottom. So, your title is Shoes,
no,
and
I'm
obviously it's about basketball. Uh,
well, that's the hook. It is
okay,
it is it's not about basketball, but
okay,
basketball is the young boy's dream. But it's
okay.
about his life and his journey. And I have to tell you that I don't know him. I met he and his family in a Salvation Army in 1986. It was at 4340 Griggs Road in Houston. And I saw
When
the
you
family.
said Griggs Road, I was like, I'm in Houston, so
I
that's where I
live,
live.
I'm from Houston.
You're from Houston? Okay, I didn't realize
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I born in Huntsville, but I've
Okay,
lived in actually all over Houston, but I grew up in South Park.
okay, all right,
And so this Salvation Army, and right next door was it used to be a Wieners across the street, and there was a S&H Green Stamps right next door. Yeah, that's our old land. And
yeah, I remember the S&H green stamps. I was a
yeah,
kid, but for people who don't know, the grocery stores would give you these stamps, and you
yeah,
would have a book that you like. It's like a postage stamp. They were like postage
yes.
stamps, and you would have a book that you kept them in to accumulate the stamps.
To
And then
get
I think they had a
whatever.
catalog or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
And then
And
you could get neat stuff.
oh, and it, listen, we
So
were
my
regulars.
mom had an S&H stamp. I haven't thought about that in many years. My mom kept those.
We had those, and we were regulars at both stores. So real talk, and I say that with pride as well. Um, I was at this particular Salvation Army when I saw this family come in, a single mom and her three kids, the oldest of them being a young man she called Junior. And he's Junior in my book because I don't know his name. And she is Mama in the book. And his siblings, I gave my niece and nephew's names because I didn't know them. But what happened is I followed them around the store for about an hour because I was so captivated by them and the young man's dignity. It reminded me of my brother and I and my mom when we would go, but they were there in their shopping that day in the Salvation Army like it was Macy's or Foley's or whatever we're used to at home.
Yeah.
And it turns out that they were shopping because the mom was getting married the next day. So it's,
Oh,
sometimes the creator will grab you in your color
Mm.
and he'll say, Russell, you have to. I was young, working at the prison, a little on the arrogant side, and I needed some humility. I wasn't a horrible man, but I was just young. But watching this little boy, and over this hour and a half, hearing what the story was, the mom's getting married. The young boy was burned in a fire. He always wanted to have a pair of Converse, but because of the injuries, he had to wear these black boots. And so all the kids in the hood called him shoes, right? But he
Mm.
has this dream of playing ball. And it turns out that there was an old pair of Chucks, what we call them, on the books on the shoe rack. And he kept going back, and his mom was shopping for curtains and little dress for his sit. It was something blowing my mind. I was so humble, and I'm always emotional anyway. So I had to hide behind the coats and stuff, and I was being a voyeur. And it turns out that the little boy, Junior, tried on the shoe. It didn't fit. He took off a sock to the other foot. Still didn't fit, but he loved them. But they were so worn, so beat up, that they had on the bottom of them, ladies, on the bottom, it was marked NC. I didn't know what it was. Junior didn't. But he took him up to the counter. And his mom said, well, baby, I can't get them. We don't have the money. I promise I'm going to do something nice for you, blah, blah. I'm watching this, wiping my eyes, grown man. And he took him back. And when he got back, there was an old man who worked in the store. And he said, did you look at the bottom? He said, yeah. I said, you see what it says? He says, yeah. It says NC. He says, do you know what that means? He says, no. He said, it means no charge.
Mm.
Mm.
It was over for me. I mean, I was.
Mm.
So it was, the little boy was so excited, and he was about to leave, and the old man in the store reached in his pocket and he said, Junior. And Junior stopped. And I'm thinking, hell, I just learned his name. How do you know? He said, every basketball player needs new laces. And he gave them to him. And so Junior he already had a limp because of whatever the prior injury was. House fire. His father died in the fire. These are real people.
Mm-hmm.
And I was blessed, if not fortunate, to be able to hear these stories between the mom and the woman behind the counter, and Junior telling the older gentleman why he had to wear the boots. And I'm like, oh my God. That is the story. The basketball is because that's what Junior wanted, to be
Okay.
able to be like the rest of the kids and play ball and do these things and have some Chucks, which back in the day were the shoes for me,
Right, right.
right? And so ultimately, I take that journey in the book because I didn't know how they got there. So all of the chapters leading up to that were me and my brother, because I lived that life. My mom was a domestic, and we would meet her at the bus stop when she was coming from across town, and we'd go to Woolworth, downtown. You from Houston. It used
Well,
to
I'm
be.
not from Houston, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
live in Houston, but I'm not from Houston.
We would meet her downtown, and we would ride the bus back home with her, and the bus to church, and the bus to everywhere. So all of these moments in the book, I had to get Junior to the store And it ends up that every moment is a true beat. But the blessing was seeing Junior and his mom on that day in the Salvation Army somewhere that was familiar to me. And I never wanted to write it to sell it. It's been 38 years.
Yeah, I was wondering what you held on to this story for so long.
Well, again, I didn't want to write it to sell it. I just didn't want to forget them. So I've held the story for years, but COVID hit. I'm an actor out here in Los Angeles. And so we were down for 3 years. And so I decided I'll finish it. It had always been there. I just had to put it together. And again, the story is bigger than me. And I had to back away from it to come to it. I had a friend of mine who was a tremendously famous writer. I remember he saying that, kind of back up and listen to your characters and let them speak.
Yes.
I already had Junior's story. I already had mine. I just had to get my ego out the way and tell the story not the way I wanted it, but the way it happened. And so I revealed some things in those moments leading up to meeting Junior that are real. And I'm proud of them, and I actually am excited about the book. I thank you for, for letting me in. There's so many people with so many books and so many titles to their name. And I'm coming home with a project that's about my home. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Now some of the things you mentioned, even though I'm not from Houston,
Mhm.
these things were happening. I'm from the East Coast. So the S&H stamps, that was nationwide, I believe.
Oh, okay. I never knew that.
Yeah. Because I was in Virginia, so my mother had them. And then Woolworths, that was everywhere. Yeah, I think Woolworths was like one of the first places that integrated in some cities. I forgot which city it was.
North Carolina,
County.
Houston, yeah.
Woolworth, because people couldn't sit down and eat at the counter in Woolworth.
Absolutely.
And
Well,
so that was
I'm
before
older than
me,
you.
but I heard about it. Well, by the time I was coming up, we could eat at Woolworths. But before
Of course.
me, they couldn't.
Yeah.
So that's just things you mentioned that we did not have a Wieners. I think Wieners is either Houston or Texas. I know that's here.
Texas. Yes.
Okay, but we didn't have Wieners. But we did have S&H stamps, and we had Woolworth.
Right. And that Salvation Army, I was just there about a month ago. I was back home. It has been multiple resale shops, Goodwill, Salvation Army, and whatever else, whatever gentrification or economic times allows, but it's still there. And it's still there.
So did you have any more contact with Junior and his family after seeing them at the Salvation Army, or was that your one encounter?
I saw them walk in. I followed them. The bus stop was right out the window. I saw them leave and go to the bus stop. It's been 38, almost 39 years now. I've never seen them again.
It's amazing the impact that a moment or a person can have on you. And it was probably just meant for you to see them because it really taught you some lessons that you hadn't thought about before. And you said that you were kind of arrogant at one time. And I think this experience kind of humbled you in some ways.
It absolutely did. And I was very humbled by it. And yes, those stories come to you. We all have stories. If anything comes from my 10 minutes here, we all have stories. And what took so long also is I didn't want to create anything. I wanted to tell. Junior would be 49 or 50 right now.
Okay.
And obviously he lived in South Park or somewhere in the area. Um, I happened to see them then. When they left, I never saw them again. I didn't ask their names. I didn't speak to them. But it was there that I met and was just totally, totally impressed with the dignity of this young man and the respect his younger siblings, who were, I have to assume, 5 and 6, 5 and 7, and the responsibility his mom gave him. Junior, take care of the little ones, quote unquote, that's in the book, while I shop for a few things. And um, I was supposed to see it. And again,
Right.
I, a young man, I was single, but I love resale shops and Salvation Armies. I grew up in them. So again, they weren't foreign to me. And I like old jackets, hats, and whatever. And but it was on that day that I needed to see and meet Junior um, and his family. But again, if I don't know where he is, I don't know where to find him. I don't know how do you research a man dying in a fire and his son and children and his wife, widow now, is getting married tomorrow. I was told up when I
Wouldn't
found out what was happening.
wouldn't it be awesome if one day he just happened to pick up this book and recognize his story and reached out to you?
I have done a couple of podcasts in the past year, and I've said that, and thank you for that. I have said, if he's listening, if there's a family member listening, I gave their address to the store,
Mm.
4340 Griggs Road. It's at the corner of Griggs and Cullen. It's
Okay.
still there. And um, all I know is Junior. That's the only
Okay.
name I got. But everything else was trying to fill in the blanks of who I imagine this young boy is or was. Um, I'd love for, boy, if he walked into Fallbrook and told me, he's, if he said, Mr. Russell, I'm Junior, yo, y'all would have to carry me out. Because my hope is that, it's funny you said that because everyone says that. What if one day he picks it up and reads it to
Hmm.
his kids or grandkids, not knowing it's him?
Yeah, it recognizes the
That,
story.
that would
And
be,
you'll be at the National Black Book Festival. So that's why you said walks into Fallbrook.
if he, yes, yes. And I cannot tell you, I know you've been getting all my emails. I'm blowing your computer up, I know, but I
Well,
just,
at this time of the year, in terms of the amount of time before the festival, all the authors are blowing up by email. So you're
okay,
not by yourself.
okay. I
So
just,
that's just the
want
nature of
to,
it.
yeah, I just want to get it right because again, it's my first. I'm not, well, I guess I am now a writer, but I don't have the history that the people I've seen that come through. Your thing is big. I didn't know that it was like that. I'm just, trying to make some connections with my friends and family back home, but it has taken on a whole new beast. The book is everywhere it can be purchased. I have friends in Nigeria have bought it and taken it back home. The UK, Canada, all over the country. A few of my friends and classmates that have now moved back to Mexico, and um, I'm humbled by all of it because, again, this day, this random day, and this young boy or now man has been with me for almost 40 years. And I just hope I did right by him.
Yeah, there's some things that happen in our lives that are unforgettable. You know, they're
Yeah.
really crucibles. They're
Mm.
meeting certain people or certain things happening or just and it can be good or bad, you know. There's
Well,
some
yeah.
things that are life changing, you know. So and but it's all part of the path that we all take as humans on this earth for the amount of time we have here. And it's like a minute, you know. It's very
Amen.
fast.
That's true.
Amen.
Mhm.
Amen. Also I wanted to mention that this may not be the time. This may be email stuff we need to deal with. But I again, I'm very proud of what I've done. Proud of you as well. This is hard, what you do, and to service so many. And there's other people who won't even be in attendance who are also writers and also dreaming. The hardest thing is to sit down and be quiet and put pen to paper. That's the hardest part. It's just to begin and trust the process. We all think that our material is the best, like our children. We all do, and and to whatever degree it is the best. So to be in this group of men or in the category that says something because they are accomplished. And either way, um, either way, I committed to getting Junior. He's 11, by the way. I've committed to getting him through junior high, what they call middle school now. I'm
Mhm.
old, and high school. And
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to be following his journey for a while.
I'm only going to say it once, so if whoever's listening, you're getting this info. Junior will finally become strong and healthy. Junior
Mm,
will finally make the basketball team his senior year, but he'll never get to play. And I'm
Okay.
going to leave that right there. It's
Okay.
not about basketball, it's about
Okay.
Junior.
Okay. All right. Well, I like that you did a very good job. Your cover is very attractive.
Woo, that boy is bad.
Whoever did your cover did a great job.
He is
And that is a big part of the battle because a whack cover, excuse me, is not a good presentation and it kills your book.
this is true.
Victor Onyenobi, that brother he's got others. He's done so much. He helped me through Ingram Sparks and the whole hookup with Amazon, which, is its own monster. Um, but he is so talented and so detailed. Um, he is worth the expense for my money. Um, and I met him on Facebook. I'm
Okay.
just
Okay.
combing through, and the
Okay.
brother had some art that he had done for some project on the Disney film. And I said, there is nowhere in the world, one, I'll hear from him, but two, that I can afford him. And he contacted, and the afford part is still up in the air, but he
I
is
get
so
it.
good
I do
though.
get it. But you know, some people do actually respond to DMs. You
He
never
did.
know who is going to do it. I um we had Wendell Pierce at the National Black
I
Book
know
Festival.
Wendell.
It
I
was
know
about
Wendell well.
8 years ago or 9 years ago.
Really.
But I reached out to him on Instagram. I sent him a direct message on Instagram, and he responded. Now I
That
had met him. I met him at the NAACP Image Awards,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
hadn't asked him to be a featured author. But when I messaged him, I told him I met you at the Image Awards, so that might have helped a little bit. But he could have just said no or not said anything at all.
I've known
That's true.
Wendell.
You never know. You just never
You
know.
never know.
I,
You
I,
can't if you don't ask and you will
Didn't
receive.
look, didn't Curtis say he just reached out to Walter Mosley and he
Yeah,
said,
yeah. And Walter Mosley, he does respond because he's been at our event 2 or 3 times.
mm-hmm.
He does respond. His people do respond, or he responds. And he's still because he was at the thing we went to in New Orleans, Rhonda, the
Yeah.
library, the Black Librarians Conference. He was there.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still getting around. He lives in New York, but he's still getting around. Now we got 1 minute left. I do want to. You
um,
said you were an actor,
no,
and I just wanted to hear a little bit. Just give our audience a little bit about how you're acting. What have you been in that we might know?
there, first of all, there's been quite a bit. Um, I think what I get stopped in the grocery store for, I was this very, very, I won't say crazy, but interesting principal on Insecure. I was the principal kind of, I wasn't racist, but I was looking out for my folk, right? I did that. I've done Grey's Anatomy. I've done tons of theater around the country and the world. I've NCIS, all that. But interesting, you mentioned Wendell. Wendell Pierce was a producer on the play Jitney in New York, of which I was a part of. August was a friend of mine before he passed for 20 years. And Wendell was one of the producers when we were up Broadway for, I don't know, 10, 11 months or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but I've done some things. My website, to make it easier and, kind of excuse my rambling, is arussellandrews.com. And so all of my stuff is there.
And we
But
put that in the chat.
I'm sorry.
We put your website in the
Oh,
chat.
you do. Thank you. Yeah, and so my work is there, and again, so much is stage, of which most of the public won't see. However, I have knock on wood or whatever. I've got, awards. I've got the Olivier, which is it is the tip top of stage awards in the UK and transfers over here. But all of that was with August Wilson, who was a friend and mentor. And so I've been fortunate. It's a tough business.
Yeah.
And oh my God, when it's good, it's really good. It's really good. But when it's not, it's like, damn. You know, there are a lot of days where, oh damn. You know. But it's a good business. It's a good life. It's taken me places I never thought I'd go. Giving me courage, to even get through the book. And um, I thought my life was going to be athletics, but again, they say if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. So,
Yeah.
That's true. I've heard that before.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
we're at the end
Here
of
I
our
am.
time, Russell, but we're looking forward to seeing you next month at the festival. And thank you for being a guest on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me, and anticipate more emails.
Okay, well, they come fast and furious between now and the event.
Okay.
So
And I'm sorry, Dr. Lawson, I didn't introduce myself. It's nice to meet you as well.
Well, thank you very much. It was wonderful to meet you.
All right, take care, ladies. I'll see you soon.
Okay, have a
Bye-bye.
good night.
All right, thank you.